Well, hello and welcome to Thought for Thursday, a segment of Leveling Up the Podcast with Alethea Tucker. I'm very happy to be with you today to talk about a topic that I know will benefit many of you in my audience. You know, we talk reinvention around here, and we talk about the pain areas that reinvention can really address, the pain areas that we often kind of push aside, or perhaps we've just ignored for whatever reason, not necessarily pushed them aside, but may have even denied them for a very long time. Well, I want you to know that there are pain areas that can benefit from reinvention. Reinvention can touch so many parts of our lives. But in particular, when I come on the podcast or when I do any speaking and in much of the coaching that I do, we address five pain point areas in particular. And these are the areas that reinvention can change. These are the areas that reinvention can absolutely turn around and make life the life that you desire for it to be. So, what is one of those areas? We'll jump right into it. One of those areas that reinvention can definitely make a difference in is the area of your finances. Yes. So, because money is often the source of so much stress, and we live in a world that constantly pressures us to have more, right? To spend more and somehow still save more in the process. And as we grow older, we really kind of start to feel the weight of our financial decisions. I mean, we feel them no matter what age, but definitely as we grow older and kind of get into the place where we're looking at changing careers or perhaps retiring. And we really do feel the weight of our financial decisions, the financial decisions that we've made or those that we didn't make years ago. So, why can reinvention or how can reinvention really kind of change things there? You might find yourself struggling with debt or not saving enough for the future or simply feeling out of control, right? When it comes to your money. But the truth is, financial stability is about more than just numbers. It's about peace of mind. It's about knowing you have a plan and a purpose for your money that aligns with the life that you really want to live. So, what can be done? Start by being honest with yourself. That's the first step. Where are you financially? Take a look at it. Take an honest assessment of where you are. It's time to set very clear and realistic goals. You don't want to set goals of saving money that may have taken you 40, 50 years to save up. Be realistic. Whether it's paying off debt or building an emergency fund or starting to invest, take the first step today. You can do something small. I always say that small steps can lead to very big results. Seek out some financial advice. Let's face it, we may not have done something, or we may not have really stepped into an area because we simply did not know how to do that. Create a budget, and most importantly, commit to changing your mindset around it. The mindset, we know, has such an impact on how we live our lives. Change your mindset around money and change it to one of growth and prosperity, and not one of constant debt and need, because that mindset will definitely start to pull you into that very condition. And even if you are in a need condition right now, that can be changed. Speak positive about where you are. But it's important not to just speak positive and just kind of let things go, because you won't be successful in your reinvention in that process. Be positive about it and then go about making positive changes in order to get the results that you want. What else can you do? Reinventing your lifestyle. Yeah, let's look at that. Our lifestyle really does encompass a lot about how we live, of course, and how we spend our time and really what we prioritize. And it's easy to get stuck in a routine that really no longer serves us. We've talked about this a lot. We're used to a certain routine. It's comfortable, like a nice, comfy blanket. And it's real easy to get stuck there, especially as responsibilities kind of start to pile up. I mean, they've been piling up, chances are, but if as they continue to pile up, and time just kind of seems to slip away faster, right? And it seems as you get older, the time just kind of starts moving real fast, doesn't it? Because you kind of start thinking about those things that you really want to change and perhaps you haven't. That's why reinvention and the knowledge that it can be done is so important. So, reinvention is needed because sometimes we realize that the life we're living just isn't the life that we envisioned. Let's be real. That's another place where you need to do a real assessment. Is this really where I want to be? Maybe we've been putting, everyone else's needs ahead of ours. We talk about that a lot. Or we've fallen into habits that really, really drain us instead of energizing us. Habits that we overdo things. We give everybody else a yes that's best for them and not one that's best for us. Reinvention in this area, in this lifestyle area, is really about reclaiming your time. We've heard Maxine Waters make that real popular, right? That phrase, that thought. And we can apply that. It's about reclaiming our time, our joy, and our peace. So much of what we really want to have. So, how can you change your lifestyle? How can you reinvent? Well, start by looking at the time and the energy that you've been putting into things. What activities, what people or habits do you really need to either remove or make an adjustment to? Remove or make an adjustment to. I know that's a hard concept to grasp, particularly when we're talking about people, right? And relationships. What do you need to say no to? Think about that. Stop saying yes to everything. Identify what you need to say no to so that you can start saying yes to yourself. That's the point I'm trying to drive here. Reinventing means really kind of, you have to curate that life that you feel is authentic to who you are authentically. So, what is it that you need to say no to so that you can say yes to you? That life that you want right now, or to the you that you are right now, not the you from 5 or 10 years ago, but who you are right now, because that person could look very different, right? So that's how you begin to make the change, how you begin to even think about changing your lifestyle. It might mean changing your environment, your daily routines, or we already said the people, that you spend a lot of your time with. And I want you to know that that's okay because you deserve a life that really reflects your true self. You deserve a life that really reflects your true self. So, what other area may a reinvention be necessary? In the area of your faith. Let's move on. Let's talk about that just a bit. So, for many of us, our faith is the foundation that everything is built on. I know that mine is. But life has a way of really shaking that foundation, doesn't it? And I know that a lot of you out here can identify with that as we go through trials and losses and disappointments. It's really easy to find ourselves at some points kind of questioning, well, faith is our foundation, and we start to question areas in that arena, our beliefs. We start feeling disconnected, from our spiritual life, from our faith. Let's just be real. So, what can be done? Why is it necessary um, for you to even start thinking about how you can make changes in your faith? Because we've already said faith is the foundation. I know faith is the foundation for me, and you need a firm foundation. You need to truly, truly understand who you are, why you are, why you're here. And your faith can definitely point to all of those things. They definitely do point to all of those things. But we can sometimes feel distant. I've already said that. Life's demanding and it's pulled us in so many directions. And we feel as though we are just not connecting in the areas where we need to connect. And we're losing hope. The faith and the hope are moving hand in hand. So, what do you need to do? You need to dig in. This is where you seek wise counseling. This is where you put yourself in an environment where you're around other faith believers who are going to be able to encourage you when you feel weak, who are going to be able to hold your arms up when you really want to give up in the fight. You need to make sure that you're around people and you're putting things in your life that's going to speak faith to you and not speak negativity and doom. Things that are going to keep that positive mindset, things that are going to keep a mindset of hope and not one of despair. Truly, faith, the environment that you're in, can encourage and help to build up your faith. And that is where you need to focus. You need to focus more on reading what the Bible, more on reading what it is that establishes your faith, that speaks more to your beliefs, that tells you the truths that you need to know, and negates those things that are not about who you are and your purpose. That is where you start to reinvent. And that is also why reinvention is needed in that area, because you need to have that strong in order to live life to the fullest and to live life in a way that counts. All right. So, what other area are we talking about? A big one, your health. These are all big. Let's face it. These are all major pain points that we deal with. And when we're talking about our health, we can sometimes get real careless about that. We just kind of leave things to kind of go willy-nilly. We put them on the back burner, and we may have been able to really do well with our health up until a certain point. But again, we're getting older, and as we age, we start to notice changes in our bodies, and some things that we were able to get away with when we were younger, well, not so much right now. And so we may feel that we're at a place with our health where it's a point of no return. And we frequently get in a mindset, particularly when we're talking about things that are hereditary, things that very well could be passed down in the bloodline. My family, for example, has a history of diabetes and hypertension and heart disease. And it gets real easy to kind of fold into that and say, well, it's in our bloodline. There's probably nothing that we can do about it. It's in our bloodline that they've always taken meds for this. Well, guess what? There are some things that you can do. And if you reinvent how you approach your health, what you do to remain healthy, you can definitely make a change in something that's a real pain point for you. You need to do some things in order to begin that reinvention process, whether it's due to stress, poor habits, or simply the passage of time. We've probably given it a back seat. Well, now is the time to put it in the front seat. It's never too late to start taking better care of yourself. Start there. Proper rest, eating properly, taking time off, moving away to avoid stressful areas, and creating environments where you have downtime. Again, you can start small. It may be just all too overwhelming for you to think about, I'm giving up all that greasy and fatty food all at once. Well, start small. If you eat fries every day, pull it back to once a week, once every other day. Small steps can lead to big change. I already said that. But the important thing to do is start small and be consistent. Consistency is key. Exercise, that is another huge pill, another huge way of healing in order to make health better, to improve your health. Exercise, eating, and watching how it is that you let stress and strain and just that state of being overwhelmed really take a toll on you. All right, so we've talked stress, we've talked health, we've talked finances, we have talked lifestyle. What are some other things? We've talked faith. Well, the very last thing that I want to mention to you is, hold on one second, I lost my train of thought. Career. And I did not put it up here. That's why I lost that one. Well, it's not too late to put it up here. We'll go ahead and stick it up here now. Career is key. How I left this one off, I don't know. As the person who helps people make and reinvent in careers as a part of what I do, right? Many of us kind of define ourselves by our work, and that's fine. Because a lot of what we do, honestly, if we are to be have a fulfilling career, it really needs to authentically, what we do needs to reflect who we authentically are. But what happens when the job that we once loved no longer really fulfills us, or when we feel stuck? And that happens for many of us who have done the same thing for year on end, and we're now at a point where we can do what we do with our eyes closed, and it's just not as rewarding for us as it used to be. Then that's definitely a sign that reinvention may need to take place. We're dreading Monday mornings or feeling like, our career just isn't aligning with our purpose. It's time for a change. It should, again, be a reflection. What we do should be a reflection of our passions, our values, our talents. But when we find ourselves really kind of settling for less, that's when a change is needed. Start by assessing what truly brings you joy. What is really you? What is authentically you? What is it that would bring you fulfillment in the work that you do? What are your strengths? How can they fold in to what it is that you do? This might mean pursuing that promotion or pursuing being an entrepreneur if you're working elsewhere or for someone else. It might mean staying where you are, but being more of an advocate for yourself on the job. Advocate more for yourself so that what you do is more pronounced and more recognized in order for you to be more fulfilled. All right? So that's it. We can reinvent. Know that it's not just about changing for the sake of change. Not in those areas, not in any area of our lives. In those 5 areas in particular, the reinvention can bring about a fulfilling life. It's about intentional transformation and stepping into the life that you really want, the one that you deserve, that thriving life, the one that you're meant to live with confidence and with clarity and with purpose. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you more and more every time I come on and see you here. And I appreciate your comments letting me know that what we talk about are definitely making a difference and helping you to make changes in your life. All right. Thanks so much. I see you, Mary, for watching. And now I encourage all of you to go out and be boldly yourself, authentically yourself, so that you can make the difference that's needed for you, so that you can reinvent in those areas that are really pain points for us, so that we can make the changes necessary to be fulfilled, necessary to thrive, necessary to Do the things that perhaps we have never done before in order to be who it is that we have never been before, and feel a way that we have never had an experience or the opportunity to feel. All right, go touch something. Your imprint is unique. Only you have it. Only you can make the change that you can bring about. All right, have a great one.